Reverend Jocelyn, and I grew my ministry from a simple blog to a national Christian trauma healing business. And now I help women just like you to answer the call that God put on your heart. I'm also the host of the top 15 Christian podcasts on emotional healing, but it definitely did not start off like that. Let me take you back into time to 2019, when God first put on my heart to start a podcast. Now, I didn't know anything about podcasting, but I said, you know what? It can't be that hard. And so I called my girlfriend up and I said, girl, what you doing? What you doing on Saturday? We need to talk. I wanted to have you as my first guest. And so what I did, I grabbed my phone. I got a free conferencecall.com account, and we got on that phone. I pressed record and we talked for 45 minutes. And before you know, episode 1 was done. Now, let me tell you, this sound quality was boot to the leg, but I did what most of you all have not done, and that was get started. And here's the thing, my sound quality and editing and all that stuff didn't stay terrible forever, but over time, I invested in the podcast equipment. I started getting my flow. I started getting better. And eventually, I was able to develop a top podcast. But it was because, sisters, I had the courage to just start. For some of us, we are overthinkers or we're recovering perfectionists. So we're like, oh, I got to have the best podcast equipment. I have to do all this research. I don't know if I'm ready yet. Well, sometimes, most of the time, you're not going to fully feel ready. You just kind of got to get pushed out into the deep end and learn how to swim, metaphorically speaking, right? And we understand that, yes, I do understand doing your research and preparing. But for some of us, we're informationally obese, meaning that we read all the books, we attended every single conference and seminar you can think of, and we still not doing anything. We're just sitting on the information. No, it is time to apply what you have learned, because over time, when you get started, that's when you become great. You don't get great off of theory alone. You become great when you apply what you learn. You take what you did, you say, okay, let me evaluate, let me see how I can get better, and you grow from there. Even the great people that we have admired for years had to put in the work. I'll never forget a story that the legendary Les Brown shared with us. I was at a mastermind meeting and he was talking about how he had met the late, amazing Dr. Maya Angelou. And like many of us would be, he was awestruck by her presence. And he was like, oh my goodness, you are so amazing. You're such a gifted speaker. And when he said that to her, she was like, I'm appalled. I'm offended by that. And he was so confused by that, because he was like, I just gave you a compliment. And she said, no, because for you to say I was gifted was to almost imply that I didn't have to work to get to where I'm at today. And she took him into a back room and displayed all the hundreds and hundreds of books that she had read over the years. And it was a reminder to not only him, but to you, that even the people who are great had to put in the work. And in order for you to put in the work, you have to get the reps in by starting. Now, I know you might be afraid. You might say to yourself, am I ready for this? Will I be good at this? But you'll never know unless you actually take the risk and take the leap. And understand that anybody who we admire today did not start off great, just like the story that I mentioned earlier. But over time, if you put in the work, you can eventually learn to be exceptional at what God has called you to do. And so, sister, I am challenging you today. I'm not calling you out, but I'm calling you up into what God has put on your heart. And I'm saying, no more putting it off. I want you to put in the comments for me below, what has God put on your heart to start? And in those comments, I don't only want you to put, I'm starting a book or I'm starting a podcast. I want you to say, when are you going to do it? Because if you know it's the time, it's the season for this, then I don't want you to put it off any longer. Will you take this challenge with me today and invite a sister to do the same? And if you want some additional support in starting that vision that God put on your heart, go ahead and visit sisterstartyourministry.com for a free ministry launch starter kit today. I'll see you in the next video. Hey sis, I hope you were encouraged by today's message. And if you were, I'm inviting you to take your next step of faith by downloading my free Ministry Launch Starter Kit that's going to help you not only start, but grow your ministry. You can get this kit at sisterstartyourministry.com. Again, that is sisterstartyourministry.com.